Hey kids, it's Mrs. Compton, and we're still talking about money because money and decimals go hand in hand, right? So we've got money, money, and more money. So today I'm going to call this one whole, as I'm going to be for quite some time, right? It's showing all 10 tenths, and if I were money, in this case, this would be represented by our dollar, right? But there is another way to represent it, right? Because we also know that each of these columns can be represented by a dime. Do you see it? Okay. So we also know that it could be 10 cents. That says $10. Don't make that error, kids. We've got to make it say 10 cents. So $0 and 10 cents. But we need 10 of them. So times 10. All right, so now that's the same as this, right? Okay. We could also say it's worth 100 cents. And maybe you're like, ooh, if it's 100 cents, then that means it's 100 pennies, right? And 100 pennies just goes right back to $1 written like this, right? Lots of ways to think about this. Okay, now this is 1/10. So we know representing the 1/10 is the dime. We keep hearing about it, right? So this would be the dime. And we would say 10 cents. Let's do it. 10 cents. I could also think about it without writing that dollar sign right there, and I would say that number as 10 hundredths. Okay, so that means it could also be represented by 10 of these, because this is worth 1/100th of a dollar, because there are 100 pennies in a dollar, right? So we could also do this. So we have to make it worth 1/100th. Woo, guys, I need to focus. So that's 1/100th, but we'd have to do it times 10, right? Because we would need 10 pennies. Okay, so we could also, there she goes, I'm always dropping something. We could also say 10 cents or 10 cents like that, right? Okay, our last and final is not a dirt spot on your camera or on your computer. It is there. It is barely there because it's barely worth anything. And it is worth wherever I dropped my penny. That's what it's worth. I don't know where it went. Let's see if I have another lucky penny. I think I might. I have a real penny. Who wants to see that? Of course. Need a real penny. Finally, she gets it. Okay, so we know that this is worth 1/100th of a dollar. It'll just have to sit there. You guys, it's a sad story of trying to make videos and dropping things, you know, such is life. All right, so we know that this is worth 1 penny, and we could write that like this. 1 penny. We could say it like 1/100th. Remember, it's 1 out of 100 needed to make a dollar. And we can't include a times 10 or anything because it's like just a lonely little bird there. It's as small as it's going to get. So 1 cent. There's no other coin that could make it. It's too small. All right, we're going to fill out a graph. I'm going to hit pause and we'll be right back. All right, here it is, our lovely chart. You have this in your book too, so we could always do this together if you have your book. All right, so here I have a column that says bills and coins, and some of them are blank and some of them are not. We're going to use the information over here to help us figure out the blank ones. All right, we've got money amount, fraction or mixed number, and decimal. All right, so let's go first here, and it says we have $0.03. So we have to think about, all right, what bills and coins would we have? Well, in this case, do we have any bills? And how many coins do we have? 3, and they're all pennies, right? So I'm going to write 3 pennies. All right, so that would make 3 cents. And then the fraction, well, I know that I can read this as 3/100 because it's 3 out of 100 pennies. So I could write the fraction 3 out of 100. All right, now the decimal, I'm in good shape here because I actually already have the money amount, which is kind of like the decimal, right? So the decimal is 3/100. Okay, now let's do the next one. So we've got 25/100 right here. So which would you like to fill in first? I'm going to guess that some of you are like, well, that's a quarter. So let's even put that. 25 cents out of 100 cents. We would have this, right? And you need 4 of these to make $1. So 1 out of 4 of these is worth 1/4, otherwise known as 1/4. Okay, so the decimal would be 25/100, 25/100, 25/100. Money amount, stick $1 in front of it and just put 25/100. And then bills and coins. You could put 1/4, 1/4, or we could also do 2 dimes, 1 nickel. There are more combinations, of course, but we're not going to spend all our day writing that down. All right, so let's think about the next one. 2 quarters, 1 dime. At first I was like, wait a minute, it's going to be the same as that, but it's not. It's 2 quarters and 1 dime, not 2 quarters and 1 nickel. Okay, so 2 quarters, we already know is worth 50 cents, right? So we've got 50 cents. And then we also need 1 dime. So now we have 60 cents, right? So money amount would be 60 cents. And we know that we could say this is 60 pennies or 60 cents out of 100. And the decimal, we could write 60, or we can actually think about it as 6 dimes. So we know we could write it as, I'm going to put or just a 0.6, which is 6/10, right? 6/10. That's those. All right, last one. We've got $2.25. We're going big this time. All right, so we've got 2 times a $1 bill plus 1/4. I'm just going to go with that way. You could make different combinations, of course. All right, money amount. Oh, look at me. I put the dollar sign over there because I can't seem in my mind to separate decimals and money because I always do them together. So I should have had the decimal with the dollar sign over here, $2.25. And then fraction or mixed number. All right, now if I take this off, I know I'm going to have 2 wholes and 25 out of 100. You can still think about it as its quarter, 25 out of 100. Or you could even think about it as 2 and 1/4 because we know 25/100 is the same as 1/4. All right, kids. I feel like I've been talking a lot. I think you're probably ready to put me on pause and do your work. I'll see you next time. Bye.